You swipe past app notifications but delete them without a second glance. Social media just doesn't pull you in like it does the masses. A friend shares a viral meme and you nod politely, uninterested. The endless scroll of likes, shares, and stories feels like digital clutter at best, overwhelming noise at worst. In a world where feeds dictate trends, connections, and even opinions, you navigate life offline, content with real-world interactions or solitary pursuits, unfazed by the absence of algorithms. Why do some of us remain detached from social media platforms, treating them as optional distractions rather than essential lifelines? What's silenced in the mind and spirit when the siren call of notifications falls flat, turning timelines into trivialities while billions refresh relentlessly? Tonight we're logging into the psychology and physiology of those who don't use social media. It's not technophobia or elitism, it's a nuanced network of neural priorities, hormonal homeostasis, and experiential edits that favor depth over dopamine hits, making disconnection the default mode. Plug in to the unplugging. A post pops up and for most, the ventral striatum activates, syncing with the prefrontal cortex for instant gratification. Likes trigger dopamine surges, comments foster oxytocin bonds via the social reward circuit. But for non-users, this loop lies latent. The orbitofrontal cortex evaluates the input, but connectivity to the nucleus accumbens underwhelms. No serotonin spike from shares or adrenaline from arguments. Physiologically, it's balanced. No sympathetic nervous system jolt from FOMO, fear of missing out. Heart rate steady, cortisol levels unchallenged by comparison traps. It's adaptive. Cognitive resources preserved for tangible tasks, amygdala not habituating refresh as a ritual. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology points to genetic factors in serotonin transporters, like 5-HTTLPR variants, that dampen social media anhedonia, where platforms fail to ignite endorphins. The body views scrolling as sensory static, autonomic nervous system poised for presence elsewhere. Evolutionary echo. In ancestral times, acute awareness honed survival through face-to-face cues, not filtered feeds. Today, it translates to books over TikToks, with norepinephrine neuralized without notification pings. Encounter the overload evaders. These individuals curate their sensory world with precision, often highly sensitive or introverted. Their insula amplifies potential threats from online overstimulation, prioritizing calm over connectivity. Stemming from upbringings in low digital households or early experiences of cyberbullying, their default mode network attunes to introspection, not interactions. Polyvagal theory illuminates a vagus nerve calibrated for safety and solitude. Ventral pathways engage in meaningful dialogues, dorsal states sustain in quiet reflection. Physiologically, this guards against exhaustion. No glutamate overload from rapid content shifts, GABA promoting equilibrium for sustained attention. Ever felt drained after a doom scroll session only to rebound in offline mode? That's the anterior cingulate cortex redirecting focus, dopamine derived from deep work, not distractions. Hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis serene, averting the chronic stress that social media can exacerbate, like elevated inflammation markers from constant comparisons. They eschew apps because they don't enrich. The body flourishes in digital detox, with telomere length potentially preserved from reduced oxidative stress, immune function bolstered without the viral spread of anxiety. Delve deeper into the privacy preservers. For them, social media's invasive nature feels like a violation. Profiles expose vulnerabilities, algorithms predict behaviors they'd rather keep private. Their amygdala flags data sharing as a risk, with mild norepinephrine alerts to potential exploitation, no oxytocin rush from virtual validations. Often associated with high conscientiousness or paranoid traits in the Big Five personality model, the posterior cingulate cortex underintegrates social signals, favoring autonomy. Physiologically, this sustains stability. Cortisol buffered against judgment storms, gut microbiome thriving sans the dysbiosis linked to online-induced anxiety. Studies from Gut Microbes journals suggest social stress alters flora. They avoid platforms not from fear alone, but foresight. Body eases, no vasoconstriction from heated debates, endorphins sourced from self-sovereign activities like journaling or hiking.
In a 2023 study by the American Psychological Association, non-users reported lower rates of sleep disturbances, attributing it to absent blue light binges and rumination cycles. Their circadian rhythms align naturally, melatonin unchallenged by late-night lurks. Now the authenticity seekers add layers. Tired of curated personas and performative posts, they crave genuine bonds, face-to-face empathy over filtered facades. Mirror neurons fire vividly in real encounters, but online, the fusiform gyrus processes avatars as abstractions, diminishing emotional resonance. Rooted in values like mindfulness or anti-consumerism, their ventromedial prefrontal cortex undervalues virtual rewards, opting for substance. Physiologically, this reduces allostatic load, no sympathetic spikes from envy-induced heart palpitations, parasympathetic dominance fostering restorative states. A longitudinal study from Harvard's Grant Study highlights how deep relationships correlate with longevity. Non-users often invest there, reaping oxytocin benefits without the dilution of superficial likes. They log off to live on, adrenal glands untaxed by trend chases, vascular health improved from lower blood pressure baselines, as per findings in Hypertension Journal, linking social media use to hypertension risks. Consider the focus fortifiers. In demanding fields, scientists, artists, their dorsolateral prefrontal cortex thrives on undivided attention, perceiving social media as a cognitive thief. Dopamine circuits reward immersion, but evidence from cognitive psychology shows multitasking with apps fragments executive function via the central executive. Physiologically, abstaining stabilizes acetylcholine for memory consolidation, no distractions like phantom vibrations triggering cortisol. Hippocampal neurogenesis potentially enhanced in quiet environments. They disconnect for peak performance, sympathetic system reserved from real challenges, REM sleep deeper without dream-disrupting notifications. A 2024 meta-analysis in Nature Human Behavior found non-users scoring higher on productivity metrics with reduced error rates in tasks requiring sustained vigilance. The cultural critics bring perspective. In societies where social media amplifies echo chambers or consumerism, they resist. Hippocampus associates it with societal ills like misinformation or materialism. Philosophies like Stoicism or minimalism deem it superfluous. Anterior insula devalues the hype. Physiologically, this curbs inflammation. C-reactive protein levels lower in stress-minimized lifestyles, as explored in psychoneuroendocrinology. They curate culture offline. Telomeres elongated from purposeful living, metabolic health optimized without